Hi, thanks for joining me today. We're continuing our Fourth Amendment discussion. Last time I gave kind of a general introduction into warrants. The first thing that I want to mention in this video that I didn't in last video is that there are different kinds of warrants. Particularly there's a search warrant, which allows the officers with the judge's approval that there's probable cause, right? That's what a warrant is. Allows the officers to search a particular place, and it's limited in scope. And then there's an arrest warrant, which, again, with probable cause, would allow the police officers to arrest somebody. So last time I really was diving into search warrants particularly, but I wanted to, at the beginning of this video, just mention that there are search warrants and arrest warrants. So in this video, I just wanted to go over some of the rules that go along with executing a search warrant. And this video is particularly going to be about the knock and announce rule. So the Supreme Court has looked at a number of cases involving situations where police officers either knock and enter before serving a search warrant or just enter, right? And what the Supreme Court has said is that there is a rule that police officers should knock and announce their presence, right? They should knock and say, police, we have a warrant, whatever they may say, but they're supposed to knock and then announce themselves. But there have been some situations where police officers have knocked and said, oh, it's the maintenance man, I'm here to do some repairs, or something like that, giving some kind of a lie in order to get into the room or home. And what the Supreme Court has said is that that isn't necessarily a Fourth Amendment violation. Even in a situation where a judge gives a warrant and then specifies in the warrant that they need to knock and announce, the officers could still go to the location and then, I guess they still knocked, but they didn't announce who they were. And in that situation, the warrant was really looking for drugs, and the Supreme Court was saying that the officers were worried that the person inside the room would be destroying the evidence if they had knocked and said that it was the police. But the Supreme Court has even gone further than that, and they've said that the exclusionary rule, which is the rule that prohibits the introduction into evidence of things that were unlawfully obtained, things that violated the Fourth Amendment, that evidence is supposed to be excluded from court. But what the Supreme Court has said is that evidence obtained that was in violation of the knock and announce rule does not, the exclusionary rule does not apply to that. So even if a police officer does violate the knock and announce rule, that isn't going to make the evidence inadmissible in court by itself. There needs to be something else. So I think that raises a really good question, and I don't have an answer for this question, but then, well, if the police officers don't knock and announce before they enter, then what's the remedy? What is the remedy for that intrusion into the privacy interest? If it's not exclusion of the evidence, then what is it? And that's not a question that we have an answer to right now. So as it stands right now, police are supposed to knock and announce before serving a warrant. But if they don't, I guess that's not going to stop anybody. Doesn't really make sense. But they are supposed to knock and announce. So I think that gives a general background to the knock and announce rule. While it is a rule, it doesn't really have much bite to it as far as when the rule is violated. Is that something the Supreme Court might deal with later? Well, perhaps. But as it stands right now, that this is the situation we're in. So thanks for joining me today. Next time, we'll be talking more about warrants and about when police officers are serving warrants. So I hope to see you then, and I hope you learned something from this video. And as always, if something in this video or any of the videos that I've posted seem like a situation that you've dealt with in a criminal case or are dealing with, then make sure that you consult with an attorney. This is supposed to give you a general background and to get the most information that you can on these topics and whether or not it actually applies to your case. The best thing you can do is consult an attorney. Thanks.